Some of the things that people forward to me are downright funny. I mean, just some of the funniest things get forwarded to me. And so I was really curious when the subject line of what was forwarded to me said, funny obituaries. Funny obituaries. And I'm thinking, now that is going to be an interesting one. What is a funny obituary? And so this obituary was part of that group of funny obituaries, and that part was already highlighted. So I'm going to read to you that part that's highlighted. It says, her regular emails to family were often unintentionally hilarious, as her typing was spotty and her typos were legendary. She was a difficult mother and a horrendous mother-in-law. She will still be missed. And I wonder if she knew that she was going to go viral with her obituary. And I thought to myself, is that funny? I chuckled to myself, but then I thought, is that funny? Is that how a person would want to be remembered after they died? A difficult mother and a horrendous mother-in-law? And it made me wonder, what are they going to say in my obituary? I mean, what are people going to say at my funeral, during my eulogy? I can't imagine what it's going to be like at my funeral. It's just going to kill me that I'm not going to be able to get in the last word, because I think there should be an opportunity to offer rebuttals at a eulogy, don't you? And so what I did is, on the church website, I actually posted what I would like read at my funeral. Not that I'm planning on dying anytime soon, but I'm attempting to get in the last word at my own funeral. And so it's on the website. You might want to file it away somewhere in case you just happen to be there. But the reality is, what I was trying to say, what I want to be remembered for is who I was, but I want to be remembered by who I was in acknowledging you're what made me who I am, okay? Some of you friends out there, you're the ones who got me into trouble, okay? Hanging around with you got me into trouble sometimes. Let's be honest about it. It wasn't all my fault. And yet, thank you. The bumps and bruises that we got along the way, they made me who I am today. They gave me a strength and a resilience. And then what I'd like people to know at my funeral is how much I appreciated those who helped get me out of trouble. A lot of you did that through your encouragement, your friendship, your prayers, yes, your challenges. You helped get me out of trouble, but your greatest influence in my life was who you were. An inspiration to me. Rubbing elbows with you made me a better person. Rubbing elbows with you made me a better person. And so, if I'm alive at your funeral, that's what I'm going to say at your eulogy. You made me a better person because of who you were and who you are. You're an inspiration. And that is what I'm hoping people will say at my funeral. And so ask yourself that question. What will they say about us at our funeral? Will they say that we were a person of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control? Will they say this is the type of person we were? Because in reality, I don't think they can say all those things about me yet. God's not finished with me yet, gang. I need to continue to grow in those fruits of the Spirit. Probably wondering why we're spending so much time focusing on the Holy Spirit on the first Sunday of Lent. Well, the reality is, think about your experience of Lent in your life. Probably had all these great plans for what you were going to give up during Lent, what you were going to do during Lent. Yeah, and how did that go for you in years past? Because the reality is, so often we depend on our own strength. And it's like, we want you to give me something, Lord. You need to give me the fruits of the Spirit. Well, the reality is, the fruits of the Spirit aren't something that just can be given to us. They're a result of a relationship of the presence of the Holy Spirit. As hanging out with you, as rubbing elbows with you has helped me to be the person that I am, I have to admit that rubbing elbows with the Holy Spirit is also helping me to be the person I need to be. And so during this season of Lent, there needs to be a deepening of our encounter with the Holy Spirit. Look at what this season is all about. We hear in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 12 through 13, the Spirit drove Jesus out into the desert, and he remained in the desert for 40 days. May the Spirit drive us, compel us, lead us place we need to be the next 40 days so that we can rub elbows with the Holy Spirit, so that we can have a deeper encounter with the Holy Spirit, so that we can grow in those fruits of the Spirit. I mean, I don't know about you, but this last year has been tough. And you know what? I picked up some real toxic stuff from this past year. Really. It's helped me to grow in these fruits of the Spirit because they've just, I don't know, one rotten apple spoils the bunch. It's just like, there's been so much toxicity out there that it's kind of like spoiled my fruits of the Spirit. And so, I want to take this season of Lent and detoxify. A good old detoxification, to step away and be renewed through the rubbing of elbows with the Holy Spirit. Because the Holy Spirit, we hear in the first letter of Peter, chapter 3, verse 18, put to death in the flesh. Jesus was brought to life in the Spirit. Jesus was brought to life in the Spirit. We can be brought, renewed into new life through the Spirit, through that encounter with the Spirit. So we need fresh encounters with the Holy Spirit in Lent. We need fresh encounters with the Holy Spirit. So may we strive to place ourselves through the promptings of the Holy Spirit into a place where we can rub elbows with the Holy Spirit and grow in the fruits of the Holy Spirit. You see, we need to develop the fruits of the Holy Spirit now, before it's too late to improve our eulogy.